Guests and media are welcome to take photos and videotape during the ceremony. However, we ask that you be respectful, not interrupt the flow of the ceremony. Be mindful of where you are standing, and we kindly ask that you don't block the aisles or the stage.
Also, a special thanks to all the volunteers who are taking part in the citizenship ceremony and the Canada Day celebrations here at Canada Place. Without your help, this would not happen. Kicking off our ceremony today was Canada's Navy Band of Western Canada, the Naden Band, or part of the Naden Band. Thanks so much, guys. Don't they look nice in their dress uniform? The Naden Band, for those of you who don't know, we've had them on our show a number of times, but they're a popular touring ensemble. They're sort of like a liaison between the military and the public. They do lots of military, governmental, and civilian functions, so they sort of bring you the military through music. So thanks so much to the guys of the Naden Band.
They know how to rock it. That's all we can say. They know how to rock it. We also have the VOC Sweet Soul Gospel Choir joining us a little later on. They're bringing the positive healing qualities of soul music to us. It's just a great way to start off the ceremony, of course. And we also want to thank everyone today for the air conditioning, which is also very good. We've been outside. It's going to be a hot one.
You might want to stay in here, actually.
Yeah.
All right, to help us commemorate our new Canadians, we have some distinguished guests joining us today, and I'd like to ask that you now stand, please, for the arrival of our platform party. Okay, he said it was official now, so it started.
That's right.
Ours was just the preamble.
That's right. We're not official at anything. You can all take your seats now. Thank you very much. Now, our platform party joining us today, we share a defining moment in these Canadians' lives. So here with us, Senator Liana Martin, Government of Canada.
Of the province of British Columbia.
Councillor Carrie Jang, City of Vancouver.
Commodore Bob Ochterlony, Commander of the Canadian Fleet Pacific.
Shanaz Kayumi, Chief Operations Officer of Partnership Afghanistan, Canada.
And Anne Bancroft Jones, Chair of the Board, Canada Place Corporation.
I would also like to introduce our citizenship judge for today's ceremony, Judge Robert Watt, and our citizenship clerk, Charlotta Stang.
And a special thank you to the RCMP, Staff Sergeant Major Andrew Martin, Constable Gord Condi, the Vancouver Flag Party, and finally, to a special friend of ours, Piper Mike Chisholm, formerly of the Global BC Morning News, wherever he is there, for participating in this morning's ceremony.
Now, obviously, we actually have a very full room today, which is great, and it's nice that so many people have shown up here today to see these new folks enter our country. It's a wonderful country. We're so happy. We're proud Canadians, and I actually did an interview a little while ago with Carl Valentine, who was with the Whitecaps, of course, and became a citizen in 1984. And I asked Carl, I said, what was it that you thought was so great about our country? And the first thing he said without any hesitation is the people in it. That's why I wanted to be a Canadian citizen.
And I would just like to add, this is probably my favorite holiday of the year because my mother came here in the my mother and father came here in the 1970s. They chose Canada. They were originally going to go to Toronto, but they stopped off in Vancouver and just decided to stay here because who wouldn't really, right? So I would like to thank my parents for choosing Canada and then having me here and letting me become a Canadian. It's the best country in the world, and you guys chose well.
Now, my family settled in Newfoundland, so how we got here, I don't know. But anyway, say that. Now we begin the formal citizenship ceremony. So we would like to welcome Charlotta Stang from the Department of Citizenship and Immigration to the podium. She's going to provide us with some instructions to the candidates about what will be taking place this morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special Canada Day citizenship ceremony. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, et bienvenue à cette cérémonie spéciale de la citoyenneté. It is my honor to be here today acting as clerk of the ceremony. The presiding judge this morning will be Citizenship Judge Robert Watt. Just before I start, I would like to make a few remarks to tell you how the ceremony is about to proceed. Once I have completed my opening remarks, I will introduce you to Judge Watt, who will speak to you about Canadian citizenship and the importance of the state for you as new Canadians. Judge Watt will administer the oath of citizenship phrase by phrase in English and French, which you must all repeat. Taking the oath of citizenship is the very last requirement to becoming a citizen. Following the oath, we will proceed with the presentation of certificates. Row by row, you will be directed by our staff to come onto stage, and where Judge Watt will present you with your citizenship certificate, and all of our distinguished guests will congratulate you. You will receive a letter-sized certificate. This certificate is a legal status document, the sole purpose of which is to prove your Canadian citizenship. This certificate is not an identity document or a travel document. Canadian citizens traveling out of the country should be in possession of a Canadian passport. For those of you planning on applying for a Canadian passport, you will need to take your certificate with you to the passport office, and you can apply for your passport there. Once you receive your certificate, please do check all of the information on it to make sure that there are no mistakes. And now we at Citizenship and Immigration Canada are happy to tell you about a very special gift. As new Canadians, which you will be in just a few moments, you will be eligible for a cultural access pass that will give you free admission to more than 1,000 museums, art galleries, historic sites, and parks across Canada for 1 year. And wait, there's more. You'll also get special discounts on travel to discover the best of Canada from coast to coast. So this is a pretty awesome deal. The Cultural Access Pass, which you will receive information on tucked in with your certificate, is a welcome gift for you from the Institute for Canadian Citizenship. Your pass does expire 1 year from today, so go online to register soon. All of the information that you need to register is on this piece of paper that you will receive with your certificate today. Judge Watt, in accordance with the provisions of the Citizenship Act, it is my pleasure and privilege to present to you these 60 candidates who have complied with all of the requirements of the Citizenship Act and are ready to take the oath of citizenship and become Canadian citizens.
Bienvenue à cette cérémonie très spéciale de la citoyenneté canadienne. What I'd like you to do first, please, is take the flag. You who are about to become citizens, take the flag and give it a really good wave. This isn't an exam, but you'll see why. I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that right at the start, because I know what a thrill it is for you to be here today. Any day is a good day to becoming a citizen, but to become a citizen of this great country, Canada, is particularly special. And imagine, it is now 147 years since the cannons boomed out on Parliament Hill in Ottawa and announced citizenship is a big topic. And the ceremony, while you'll never forget it, I know, is not long. And there's not a lot of time to talk about the various elements of what it means to be a citizen. But what I'd like to do is use this money and make a comparison. We all know what these are like. We have them in our pockets, our purses. We use them every day. And this coin, of course, like every coin, has two sides. What I suggest is the coin of citizenship, like this, has two sides. On one side are rights and freedoms, and I'll speak about those in just a moment. On the other side are duties and obligations. So citizenship for each of you is like a covenant between you and your fellow citizens and the whole country of Canada. And as with the ordinary loonie, the coin of citizenship has sides which are equally important. So this morning and every day of citizenship is not about one side or the other, not just about rights and freedoms, but also, of course, about duties and obligations. The right to stand for and occupy public office, as several of our distinguished fellow citizens have done wonderfully. The right to enter and leave Canada freely. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms guarantees us freedom from discrimination, persecution, wherever we are in Canada, whatever our situation. And freedoms, freedom of speech, freedom of peaceful assembly, freedom of religion. And this morning, and indeed every day of citizenship, is a good time to remember that these things, these wonderful rights and freedoms which mark out Canada as one of the oldest continuously functioning democracies in the world. Somebody just didn't wait a moment, and there they were. Of course, their fingers, and there they were. In our country, they are the result, really, of more than 150 years of determined effort by women and men who had a vision for a country based on the rule of law and on respect for others, two of the most important foundation stones of the quality of our country. And with these rights and freedoms come other very important social and legal realities. And one that I often like to mention at these ceremonies is the vital principle in Canada that women and men are equal under the law. Women and men are equal partners in the great task of making Canada an even better place. One of my predecessors as a judge coined a wonderful phrase a few years ago. He said, in Canada, women do not walk behind men. And here, right beside us. And then he paused and he said, sometimes in Canada, women even walk in front of men. It could be a bumper sticker, but of course, it is such an important principle, and indeed, one of the things that makes this country very special. And it may be one of the reasons why some of you, perhaps many of you, chose to come to this marvelous place and build a new life for yourselves and your family. So, this side of the coin, rights and freedoms. What about this side? Duty, les droits et libertés. Et dans l'autre côté, les devoirs et obligations. You'll find that for every right and freedom, there's a matching duty and obligation. So the right to vote, for example, if you think about it, the right to vote is brought to life how? By you, as citizen voters. When voting day comes around, whether it's for municipal or provincial or federal elections, doesn't matter. You get out and vote. And of course, the law guarantees us a vote in secret. But when you vote in secret, you are, in an important symbolic way, you're holding up your hand and you're saying, my voice is being heard. My opinion counts. So the right to vote, the duty to vote, the duty to serve on a jury. And the meaning of that the significance of that is that when citizens are called together in a jury, working in a courtroom with judges and other legal professionals, it means that the wisdom, the perspective of citizens is brought to bear on how justice unfolds in our country. The duty to take care of yourself and your family in the best way that you know how. And I know that all of you have already been working hard at fulfilling that obligation and doing a really good job. And that leads to another very important obligation for citizens. And you know from your own experience, there are always people in the wider community who, for whatever reason, are less fortunate than you are or than I am. And a good citizen does what she or he can in a small way or a bigger way to the limit of our time and resources to make the lives of those less fortunate a little easier. And volunteering. If citizenship in terms of obligations can be talked about in any particular important way, it is above all engaging with the community. Each of you has gifts and talents which you brought from your home countries. You will find a way to give back to the community. There are thousands and thousands of different ways, but it is so important because it is one of the ways in which you express your regard for the gifts that come with citizenship. In a moment, Charlotte will prepare you for taking the oath. One of the most important that you'll ever take in your life, and it should never be taken lightly or for selfish reasons. And you promise three things. You promise, first of all, to pledge allegiance to Queen Elizabeth as Queen of Canada. She is the living symbol of the Canadian Crown, which through the actions of parliamentarians, legislators, judges, and others are the ultimate guarantors of the rights and freedoms that we have as citizens. You promise to obey the law, all of the laws, all the time, because you recognize that it is those laws which allow us to live peacefully and respectfully and live well together in community. And you promise to fulfill your duties as a Canadian citizen. And I've talked just a little bit about how you can do that. And I know that you will find a way to give back to the community, to engage in the life of the community, and celebrate the citizenship that you're about to receive. A final thought. I want each of you to think of yourselves as a unique and colorful thread, because you are. Each of you is special. And as I was saying, you brought special gifts and talents from your home countries, which are already enriching Canada, even before you become citizens. As you take that oath and you say those words, your thread is woven into the great tapestry, which is the unfolding Canadian story. The weaving of that tapestry never ends. It goes on into the distant future. But as you say those words, your thread is embedded in the tapestry forever. And because you're there in a symbolic way, the tapestry is richer and stronger and more beautiful than it was before you took the oath. So congratulations, each and all of you, on this wonderful, special day. Congratulations on becoming the newest members of the Canadian family. May your life as a citizen be filled with good health and with happiness, with wonderful opportunities richly explored. Bienvenue et félicitations avec beaucoup de chaleur et bonne santé à l'avenir. Thank you very much. Merci.
Again, you will be repeating the oath of citizenship after Judge Watt, and you must be seen to be repeating the oath after him. Would all candidates and all guests please stand for the administration of the oath of Canadian citizenship? Judge Watt.
And bear true allegiance to Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, Queen of Canada, her heirs and successors, and that I will faithfully observe the laws of Canada and fulfill my duties as a Canadian citizen. Excellent. Now, even more exciting, this may be the first time in your life you've ever spoken French or other beautiful official language. Believe me, you'll be great. You'll be surprised at how good your French already is. I'll go slowly, listen carefully. Je jure solennellement que je serai fidèle et porterai sincère allégeance à Sa Majesté, la Reine Elizabeth II, Reine du Canada, à ses héritiers et successeurs, et que je remplirai loyalement les lois du Canada et que je remplirai loyalement mes obligations de citoyen canadien. Excellent. That was really well done, and I want you to know you are the 60 newest Canadian citizens in the whole country, and you come from 36, just listen to that, 36 different places of origin. Vous êtes les 60 nouveaux citoyens à travers le pays, et vous venez de 36 pays d'origine. Merci beaucoup. Congratulations.
We will now proceed with the presentation of the citizenship certificates. Will all the candidates in the first row please remain standing, and everybody else can please be seated. I would also like to invite the platform party members to join Judge Watt and I in the receiving line.
Stay very close to it, and you can't get going, or you stay with
Thank you.